there, so happy to be here. Enjoy your life to the fullest, but also to attract amazing things into your life, to create the life that you desire, to have an impact that you know you want to have, and I know that you want to have, to create miracles in your life, to create the dreams that you desire, to materialize all of those deepest desires that you have been dreaming of for a very long time. But before we get into this, I really want you to follow me on ruta.infusion, because this account is my old account and I want to invite you to my new account on ruta.infusion. So go ahead and follow me there. And the reason why I want to speak about becoming visible is because I see so many people hold themselves back from shining their light, from being the magnets, from really being themselves fully and openly, instead of hiding, instead of being like hermits, instead of living in the cave, instead of doing the bare minimum, instead of really fully owning who they truly are, because it's uncomfortable, because it's something that is not familiar, it's an unfamiliar zone. It feels like, what am I supposed to do here? I've never done this before. Am I supposed to share my deepest secrets? Am I supposed to share who I really am? I'm not used to this. So here's the thing. I have been there myself. I know how it feels to have your own little corner, to have your own little secret spot where you feel your full self, where you can be safe, where you can feel like you are completely protected from any judgments, from any criticism, from any bad words, from any mistakes even being made. It's safe in that corner. But it's really not fun to live that way, and you know it. It's really not fun to do the bare minimum and keep hiding, because you know your soul wants so much more for you. Your soul wants you to shine. Your soul wants you to be loud and bold and keep bringing your absolute best. Keep bringing your gifts to the world, because your gifts are needed. Hi, Hansen. Your gifts are needed. People want you. People need you. People need your brilliance. People need your skills, your personality, everything that you have to offer, your expertise. This is something that so many people keep doing, is that they feel like they're entitled to having the results, seeing the clients, seeing money, seeing sales, seeing audience coming and growing and evolving without really doing the absolute freaking best. I have been there myself when I was like, but I've done so much inner work. I am so much in alignment and I have so much wisdom to share. And yes, sure, I share that wisdom, but really, I still was hiding. I was still doing the bare minimum. I still was living in my comfort zone. I still just wanted to do the bare minimum of like, I will just write a few posts here and there and, just show up once a day and it's fine. Is that really what it means to be magnetic? Is that really what it means to be radiant? Is that really you embodying yourself fully? The highest self, the version of you who is shining bright, who is making a difference, who is moving the needle, who is changing lives, who is having an impact, who creates amazing things, who leaves a legacy. Is that the person? Are you that person? Are you being the person who shows up no matter freaking what? Are you being the person who, despite external circumstances, despite the results you had so far, despite what you see right now, despite what kind of level of success you have achieved so far, still believes in yourself and trust the process more than listening to your fears and doubts and insecurities? Because if you're listening to your doubts, insecurities, fears, then of course you will stay invisible. Of course you will continue feeling like, I don't really feel like showing up because I don't know if I'm actually, like, if it makes sense. I'm not sure if people will listen to me. I'm not sure if it's worthy. I'm not sure if I am worthy of all the attention. If this is how you think, if this is the story you tell yourself, if this is your inner conversation, your inner dialogue with yourself, then of course you're not going to show up. Of course you will not want to be visible. Of course you will not want to feel seen and be seen. And with that energy, when you do show up, when you do create, when you do speak up, when you stand up for yourself and for your dreams and for your future, with the energy of like, but I don't feel comfortable being seen, then energetically you will repel that. It will be obvious that you don't feel fully embodied in who you truly are. So here's the thing. In order to live your absolute best life, in order for you to make the most out of life, in order for you to make that difference, to follow your dreams, to surrender to life, to engage with life fully, you need to be willing to be uncomfortable. You need to be willing to stand in the spotlight on stage and become visible. You need to become comfortable with who you are in order to feel comfortable being visible and being seen and being heard. Here's what I see so many people do, is they know that their skills are excellent. They know that what they know is super valuable and it will make a huge difference in other people's lives. It will improve their quality of life so much. But they don't believe that they are coming. They don't believe that they're listening. They don't believe that the audience is coming. They're listening. It's growing. It's about to pop. You believe in yourself. You know your work is absolutely brilliant. But deep down you're like, yeah, but I've been doing all this work so far and it hasn't really worked. If that's the story you tell yourself, it will reinforce itself. If this is what you believe, and you put yourself in this seat of entitlement, you put yourself on a pedestal as if, well, now it should be working. I believe in myself. I do the work. So now it should be working. Now people should be listening. Now people should be doing the thing. If this is what you believe, it's not working. It's repelling. You're pushing people away. Now here's what I invite you to do instead. Focus on how other people truly need your work, how amazing your work is, how powerful your work is. Focus on serving, genuinely serving, with no entitlement, with no attachment, with no neediness. Focus on serving and helping. Focus on being the person who doesn't need anything from anyone or anything. You don't have any expectations as to how many people should show up, how many people should listen, how many people should follow you, how many people should read your stuff. When you detach from any of this and you show up in your absolute highest energy, simply because you want to serve, simply because you want to make a difference, simply because you can't just sit around and shut your mouth and pretend like it's fine, pretend like you're okay. You're not okay. You want to actually pop. You want to create. You want to show up. You want to lead. You want to help people. You want to make a difference. You want to change the world. You want to change the world for the better. You want to leave a legacy. That is what it means to detach from your external circumstances. That it doesn't matter how many people are in your world. But if someone listens to you, someone is paying attention, someone is actually getting something out of it, that's it. I've done my work. I've done it. I've succeeded. I did what I had to do. I listened to my gut. I listened to my heart. I listened to my intuition. I did it even if it was uncomfortable. I did it especially because I didn't feel like it. And it did make a difference. I cannot tell you how many times over the last 4.5 years of me showing up every single day, I have received comments that I've followed you for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and I read every single freaking post and I've watched every single freaking video, and you have no idea how much it helped. Just yesterday, I received a message from a gentleman from LA who just moved to Phoenix, and he's like, I followed you for 3 freaking years. I never worked with you, but I silently paid attention. And you know what? Because of your support, because of your posts, I ended a toxic relationship that I wasn't happy with. I moved from LA to Phoenix, and I finally feel like I'm living my life fully. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm following my dreams. I'm making them come true. Like, this is the work. This is the work. Showing up, not because you expect anything, but doing it for you. First and foremost, for you. Becoming visible for you. Because it makes you feel amazing. And you feeling amazing inspires others and sparks something within others. They are touched by you, by your story, by your uniqueness, by your authenticity, by your rawness, by your realness, by your vulnerability. They are touched because they can resonate with your energy, with who you are being, with your story. They're touched because they see themselves in you. And because they see themselves in you, they see what's possible. They get inspired by you because they now know they can live a completely different life. You becoming visible means being willing to be uncomfortable, leading by example, setting the tone, being the one who makes a difference before you feel like you're ready, before you feel like, oh, well, now I got the permission, now they're paying attention, now I have an audience, now I can go live, now I can do this thing. No, you do it no matter what it is. Life is happening right now. Life is happening right now. Time is ticking. There's nothing to wait for. I was asked a brilliant question this morning on LinkedIn. Someone asked me, but what if I really don't feel like it? And what if it's a sign that it's just not the right thing to do? Not feeling like it is a symptom of your smaller ego, of your small little ego saying, it's kind of uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. It's more comfy doing the thing that I'm used to doing. When you don't feel like it, it's just this cloud. It's just this cloud hovering above your head and being like, whatever. Let's stay small. Let's do what we've been doing all along. The difference is, you know when it's not the right thing. Not because you don't feel like it, but because it's like, it's just not the right thing. You always have inspiration and desire and drive to do, to create, to act, to move forward. You always have that. Underneath it all, you always have that. Always. If you don't feel like it, it just means that you're not listening to your inner guidance. Not feeling like it means that you're listening to the cloud instead of listening to what's actually within yourself, to the inner voice, to your heart. Not feeling like it is not it. It's not it. So what happens when you actually don't want to go in that direction and there's actual strong resistance to doing it? It's just conviction. It's like, it's not my thing. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't feel excited about it. It doesn't make me feel alive. It doesn't make me feel like that's exactly what I want to do. Here's an example. Years ago, I was a project manager working in a company of several thousand people. International company, project management, all the good stuff. And at the time, before I knew anything about personal development and coaching and anything like this, I was like, oh, well, I guess to grow in my project management position, I will go to project management course and I will get certified as project management professional. So I made that happen. I went to a course where a teacher was teaching me one-on-one. And I was sitting there and I was like, this is insane. I will never, ever, 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 ever go to pass this exam. No way. There was this deep knowingness, deep conviction that it's the complete wrong thing to do. It wasn't like, oh, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like, studying for this exam. No, it was like disgust, like, no freaking way I'm doing this. No way. You might have experienced something similar when it comes to relationships. Maybe you were dating someone you were not fully into. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm just like, I adore this person so much. There's this knowingness, this conviction that this is exactly the person that I want to be around, and every single thing they say or do, and it just makes me feel like, oh, it's so amazing. There's this true love. And yet, the opposite is like, yeah, I mean, it seems to be a nice person, and I mean, they kind of tick all the boxes, but really, I mean, it's fine. Like, I guess I'm having a good time. It's like, my mom and dad would approve it. I've been in that situation too. And again, it's so strong when you're like, oh, this is exactly the person. It's like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to spend time with them. I'm so excited to get to know them. I'm so excited to have fun with them. Versus like, yeah, I mean, it's fine. I guess, like, I mean, good enough. That's the difference. You either know or you know. You always know. You always know what is right for you. You always know what is not right for you. Not feeling it is not it. Not feeling it is that the voice inside your head is the one of your ego, of the little self, of the one who wants to keep you safe and hidden and protected. Becoming visible means you need to own it. Commit to it. Commit to your engagement with life, engagement with yourself, engagement with signs and synchronicities in your environment, in your experience. It means taking full responsibility for your emotions and really listening to what is truly happening. Becoming visible is being willing to be your true self, is being willing to make mistakes, is being willing to be vulnerable and sharing your heart. Even if some people will misunderstand, even if some people will judge, even if some people will criticize, even if you will make mistakes, even if you will mumble something and it makes no sense, it doesn't freaking matter. It's your willingness to show up anyway. Glad I caught you. Good to see you. Air the fact that you don't want to do it. People love vulnerability. Yeah, absolutely. So many people dismiss this as if it's like, oh, but I don't want to be vulnerable because then I will appear weak. I have clients who's, especially men, especially male clients of mine, they keep on falling into this trap like, oh, but I shouldn't be fully myself. Especially in professional world. Don't get me wrong. In the professional realm, of course you want to be in your firm, strong, confident self. But there's always space for vulnerability. Being a human. Showing that you care. Showing that you're also relatable just like anyone else. You have bad days. You're not perfect. You make mistakes. That is vulnerability. Being vulnerable, sharing your heart. That is strength. Where you no longer hide like a hermit, pretending like everything is perfect in my cave. I'm being like, you know what? I own it. I own the fact that I'm not perfect. I'm going to show it. And because of that, I'm going to connect. I'm going to relate. I'm going to build relationships. I'm going to really Be deep. Not the superficial stuff. Not talking about weather and holidays you're about to go to, but depth. Tell me, what are you dealing with right now? How is your family? How are your relationships? How is your heart? What's going on in your mind? How much do you have on your plate? Do you feel like you're moving forward? Do you feel like you're actually living your life fully? Is there something I can do for you? That's vulnerability. Allowing other people to be humans just like you are. When we don't love ourselves, we unconsciously settle for second best. Absolutely. Absolutely. Raise your standards. Know that you're worthy of absolutely everything that you desire. You deserve the absolute best. Here's the thing. Most people want the best. Most people desire amazing things. Most people really want awesome stuff. They want adventure, they want prosperity, they want love, they want to feel amazing, they want to have fun, they want to have joy and peace and happiness and just really freaking live an awesome life. But there's a but. It's like, well, I guess it's good enough. I mean, I will just settle. I've been in this relationship for 5 years, so I guess if I just break it off, then I will maybe lose my chance. Is that really a good enough reason for you to stay with that person like that? This is not the attitude of being truly visible and owning your life fully. This is not the attitude to live with. When you raise your standards, when you love yourself so deeply, so very much, that you're like, I'm never going to settle for less than I know I can have and deserve because I love myself too much. I just had a conversation with my grandma a couple of days ago. Was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago, on Wednesday. And I asked her, did you always love yourself? We were talking about her gaining a little bit of weight. She's very tiny. And after my mom passed away, so her daughter passed away 11 years ago, she lost a lot of weight and stress and anxiety and everything. And she looked like a ghost. And she was like, oh my God, I have a belly. I have a belly fat. How amazing is that? And I was like, oh, how do you feel about it? And she started showing me her belly and she's like, here is a little bit of fat. I was like, Grandma, did you always love yourself so much? And she's like, yeah. How can I love other people if I don't love myself? I always wanted the very best for myself because I love myself. Where did you learn that? I even asked her, how, like what? Growing up in the Soviet Union with very little resources, where did you learn this? She's like, yeah, my grandma taught me that. She told me that I will never love other people if I don't love myself. We know this, and you know this. This statement is very well known, but it's so freaking true. When you truly love yourself, you own it, you want the very best for yourself, you aim for it, you move the needle, you take the action, you are visible, you want to take space, you want to show up, you want to lead, you want to help, you want to contribute, you want to make the world a better place. Even just a tiny bit, it doesn't really matter. You being yourself fully means that you're creating a ripple effect. You realize it or not, you are. I know, she is so wise. So that is it for today. Becoming visible. Owning who you truly are, owning your gifts, owning your personality, owning your silliness, only owning your quirkiness, owning everything. Owning your life, owning the moment, loving yourself and others, not judging, learning how to not judge yourself, because I know a lot of people do, and I do too. From time to time, I also judge myself that I'm not doing enough, that I'm not this, that I'm not that, and every single time it's a practice to return back home and remind myself that I'm freaking awesome. There's so much I can give. There's so much that I have. There's so much magic. You are magic. Don't ever forget that. Why do you do lives rather than pre-recorded videos? Just curious, do you find that flow better when you do it live? Yes, absolutely. I want to have conversations with you guys. Absolutely. Pre-recorded videos, I do it sometimes on other platforms where I reuse pre-recorded stuff, but really it's a matter of having this connection with you. I want to have that conversation. I want you to feel me. I want to interact. I want to build a connection. And imagine if you were watching these kind of videos when I'm just talking to a wall. Do you think you would have the same experience compared to now we actually talk to each other? How amazing is that, right? Curious to hear what you have to say about that. What is your experience to watch me live? I'm curious. Let me know. So, being visible. Most people are afraid to be visible because they're just not used to being visible. And I wasn't used to being visible either. I didn't like doing public speaking. I didn't like giving presentations at school or university. It wasn't my jam at all. Why? Probably because of the upbringing that I had. Probably because I'm Lithuanian, and in Lithuania people are kind of humble. They don't want to stand out. They don't want to take space. And then, bit by bit, I realized that it's a disservice to humanity and to myself and to people I love. I don't want to hide. I want to shine, and I want you to shine too. You've never done a live. You inspire me to do it. Thank you for answering. My pleasure. Awesome. By the way, also going live is just really exciting. And becoming visible. Not hiding behind a camera, but being like, let's have a conversation. Let's be real. My experience watching you live is a complete trust in you. Nobody goes live if they are not really authentic. I feel so too, especially if you can really sense my energy, and you can basically, if you're aware and emotionally intelligent enough to sense where the person is coming from, if you can sense whether or not they're wearing a mask and they're just going live because, I don't know, they have some things to share that are very, how to put it, it's all like about the skills and about processes and stuff like that, rather than I'm being a human and I'm bringing my personality into the conversation. and there's energy behind that rather than just the delivery. So I think there are a lot of people who go live and share what they have to share without the element of their own personality. And I've seen a lot of videos like that and lives as well, where people just deliver and that's end of story. It's just a matter of delivering their message rather than I deliver with the energy of who I truly am. I deliver not just the message, but my entirety, my totality of who I am. Totally makes sense. Your intention to spread love and wanting the best for everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, so that's it for this live. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you in the next one. And again, like I said in the very beginning, please go to ruta.infusion because that's where most of my stuff is going live. It's a very tiny new account, but I really wanted to pick up the speed. So please go ahead and check it out. See you in the next video. Have a beautiful day. Love you. Have an amazing weekend and Easter. Enjoy. Ciao, ciao.